I love vampires, I say, slowly moving my shirt. Look. I also love vampires. Oh no, I hope a vampire doesn't come and feed on me. That would be the worst. Sparkles. Oh, of course. I love and hate how Twilight has embedded itself into our modern consciousness. But without further ado, let us disco this Elysium. And I have started posting all of these. Oh. I have started posting all of my playthroughs to YouTube. I keep forgetting to do so for some of my other playthroughs, but this one I feel like I've been fairly consistent about. Let us unequip these. I can equip an alcohol. I just use it. I can just hold on to it. Why would I? We do need to we need to collect some bottles so that we can pay for our hotel.
You hear someone walking around, a poor communal.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to.
Oh yes, I remember. You can talk to them. Basil's not a fan of the honey butter chips, although I am.
Give me a moment.
I have a few questions about those apartments.
Ask away, policeman.
Do you know who lived in the foreclosed apartment?
The hell am I supposed to know?
The cleaning
Another
lady
nut
shrugs.
job, I assume.
Her mouth puckered like a dry fig.
She really doesn't like those nut jobs. Bad blood there.
Who lives in apartment 10?
No one lives there. It's been empty for months.
But I talked to someone through the door.
Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there.
She pauses, eyeing the hallway.
Maybe it's those countercultural people again. Breaking into a house like it's a public space.
Oh good.
You're a
Since you
policeman.
want us to look
They
into
couldn't
it,
open
it's
up
better
with
than a search warrant. I'll see what I can find.
Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets.
But I love them
empty
because I
beer
can use them
cans.
to collect. I can collect them and use it to pay for my hotel. We love capitalism. Is one of the residents on vacation? Their mailbox is
People
overflowing.
come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone.
Who lives behind the padlocked
Oh,
door?
that one is a scientist, a future scholar.
Suddenly, the old lady's face is
I
beaming.
think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study.
Astrology?
Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall.
Are you sure you don't mean astronomy?
That's what I said. Astrology.
Can you tell me about Cindy?
The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. Still,
She leans on her broom.
she leaves an old lady to her business. More than I can say for others.
That's all, thanks.
She mumbles some kind of a response, then hacks something into her handkerchief.
Thanks, I'm off. How's the audio, by the way? Oh. Tells me to look at things. I'm not sure which of these I shall. Yes, we will investigate that door, actually.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
This apartment is supposed to be empty. Did you break in here?
Excuse me? Of course not.
Scare them. Suspected of some big crime. There's no sweet talking your way in there. Be official.
I don't need a warrant if I can suspect there's been a break-in.
Oh, come on.
There's a pause before you hear the door being unlocked. Fascinating. Pair of shoes. It's like a fine mattress. A blister pack of medicine peeks out of a box. You should take it. It'll be ridiculous. You hear something. You hear it swarming with bugs. What is that? +1 to indirect modes of taxation. Fascinating.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The keys, see?
She's smiling too much. I don't like her. She jingles a set of keys in her hand.
Her voice is really cheerful, despite her obviously hating you.
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too?
She fumbles through her purse, fishing out a light paper-clad passport. Inspect the
It
passport.
feels flimsy in hand, with the words Revachol Zone of Control written under a nondescript municipal logo. There's a picture of her with shorter hair inside, along with all her personal details. Be friendly.
Nice haircut. Hand back the passport.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour.
What are you doing here?
I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place.
Reprehensible. Who lived here?
It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent.
She stops, hesitating.
But that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a hurry.
Who lived in the foreclosed apartment down the hallway?
Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months
Wow.
of rent. 3. We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables, but...
But
And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall. A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that.
she snaps her fingers.
Oh, it irks her. The incompetence.
My money also disappeared, I think.
Well, it does not disappear from my hands. No, I don't let it.
It couldn't have been that much money. These apartments look pretty shabby.
These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, a million real view of the bay, good ventilation, neighbors, life, spark, and they are affordable. I'll tell you, Martinez has a future.
That's
In a few
very
years,
suspicious.
It's going to blossom with artists and creatives and those radio computer wizards.
It's as if they're real wizards, able to resurrect dead real estate and breathe life into bank accounts.
So wait, what happened with the wall?
Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time or resources to fix it. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both.
She's still shaking her head, manicured hands now crossed over the chest. That's all. Thank
Of
you.
course.
She replies with a smile, but her eyes remain glazed over. She's been waiting for you to leave. Right, we must report back to the cleaning lady.
Give me a moment.
I didn't find any counterculture people in apartment 10, just a real estate agent setting up the room for new tenants.
I see. I hope some good people are finally going to move in. This place needs them.
I'm sure everything will be fine. This apartment building needs a slow change. Imperceptibly slow. Or no one is coming. Killing real estate agent? That's a little...
Yes. Well, I hope they're good people.
She doesn't know what to say. She just coughs and
Your
repeats.
statements are too vague to comment on.
Ask away, policeman.
She mumbles some kind of a response.
Ask away.
She mumbles.
What's in here? Ah, yes, let's collect some more.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Is that bed in the coal room yours?
Ooh. Not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner.
She does have eyes that seem to be smeared with coal.
It's not the nicest place, but I guess it'll have to do.
It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now, I'm doing nothing at all.
Really, you're a miner?
Yes. I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me, but somehow it never happens.
Don't you have a real home?
Does anyone in a city like this?
She replies wistfully, looking
If
around.
there's pain about any particular home she's lost, she's buried it deep, fortified herself against it.
Cool, I have other
Shoot,
questions.
Piggy.
Well, right now we're working on the get money for rent. Legendary feet scurry beneath the grate, the rats of the city. Ah, I see. That's her room. And nothing up here, I'm afraid. Someone has torn down the wall. Oh yes, this part.
A shift in temperature, the air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor.
Rub your sides for
A
warmth.
former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling down to -20 degrees Celsius.
Her face.
Is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression.
The plan.
Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment. Ideas for arranging the furniture have been jotted down.
Look around
It's
yourself.
clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged stool in the middle of the room.
Finished thought. Ah yes, we can unlock another. Lock. Unlock. We're going to internalize the kingdom of consciousness. "16 days of cold escape."
In your hands, you hold 16 Days of Coldest April by Yekatina Dahl. The cover image shows a row of concrete apartments above which span a black and white rainbow.
Feels heavy.
Indeed, the book is unusually heavy in your hands, as though the cover were lined with lead. It would do that in Grad.
How long is this book anyway?
You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized. and the type quite small and tightly set. It's nearly 600 pages long.
Look at the
The
back
back
cover.
cover is dominated by a black and white photograph of the author.
And what does she look like?
She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph. And yet, from this cover, the eyes of a sad old woman stare back at you.
Start
In
reading.
cold, detached prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugoslavia riots in the 20s. Youths overturned motor carriages and set trash cans ablaze, while heavily armored guardsmen dash in and disperse them in a flurry of baton blows. As ethnic tensions run wild, a pair of young lovers meet each other on the street. Somehow, in the middle of all the chaos, they manage to lock arms and
Lovers
look
in a dangerous
into each
time.
other's eyes.
What happens next?
It would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure?
Read 10 more pages.
They go through a brief and somewhat awkward love affair. And in the end, they betray each other and succumb to the absurdity of Gradian life. The man becomes a lens grinder, completely abandoning his former existence. He toils through the daily drudgery at the Lenka Polyfabricate. Happiness and fulfillment have eluded him his whole life. And in the end, he has nothing to do but dedicate himself to the craft. She
And the woman?
spends the next several decades standing at a conveyor in a Sosnovyj fish processing plant. The smell of fish guts slowly seeps into her hair and skin, as every single one of her dreams dies, one by one. The memory of their short time spent together tortures the former lovers ceaselessly until the end of their days. Years pass in solitude, their bodies growing ever more decrepit.
Why can't I put this book away?
As life leaves their remains between the soil sheets, their final thoughts are filled with regret.
Oh yes, we
The
can
bullet
interact.
is still safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp.
Feel the bullets with the bag.
The squashed bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open. It feels cold, even through the bag.
What do I do with you, bullet?
The squished little thing has no idea. I know. You should find the gun that shot this bullet.
Find the gun that shot
That
it.
sounds like something a police detective would do. First, you should learn all you can about this little guy. Then find the gun that shot it and the person that gun belongs to. He used it to kill your victim.
Inspect the
Later.
bullet closer.
The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to reveal a dark grey core. The base of the bullet is close to 5 millimeters in diameter.
Look at the
You can
jacket.
just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. Little hairlines, linear. It feels standard.
And the core?
It's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments are still lodged in the wound. Far away, Lieutenant Kitsuragi is flipping through stations in his Kanema. He is not here examining the bullet with you. He should be. He would find this very intriguing. Mention it to him later when he's here.
Alright.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of
Alright. Now that we've had that interlude. Oh yes, there's this hole here. You'll help. Grocery list. That's all there is. And there's the place the person left, escaped from.
This door has been closed with a padlock.
Oh,
A
let's
chalked
try
in
opening
number
it.
on the board says, The shackle snaps like a twig, and the lock falls to the floor with a little thud. It should be possible to enter now.
Ah. Flamboyant poster of a white star. Looks like critical theory on the monstrosity of the capital and such. Photos of revolutionaries posing with guns. Lounge jacket. So, certain pieces of clothing give you certain additions to checks.
Depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kraz Mazov.
Who is Krasmazov?
Seems like a good guy, judging by the mustache. By the way, doesn't he kind of look like you?
Awesome.
A plaster cast.
Revolutionaries love to pose with their guns. Indeed.
The tear machines. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now. Do you know what you should do with that money, kiddo? You should buy more alcohol.
No, I think I'm alright. I do have one bottle of alcohol, and I know you can sell some things. Buy more alcohol. I will not be doing that. This man has an alcohol problem. He's an alcoholic.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia, fumes of heavy fuel.
I wonder what would happen if we didn't open the door and lie and say that we did. Settling is it is dystopian actually. It's not like dystopian, it is exactly dystopian.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
What is a strike?
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people.
He shifts uncomfortably in his worker overalls. What do the strikers want?
Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the right to work!
When the man moves around, you perceive some serious abs underneath his tight-fitting shirt. This man is in shape.
One of the questions is, how come you built like a brick shit house but the other scabs are so scrawny? I don't want to ask
Yes,
that.
of course.
I'm going to leave now. This is a post-revolutionary world where the revolution was actually broken up by foreign power. They came in and put an end to that.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Why are you not with the Hardy Boys?
I am not the first line of defense.
But you're all part of the
Hardy
Union?
man, now leave me be.
Oh, it doesn't let us pass by him. Unfortunate. So we are a police officer. We work for a higher power than this, but unfortunately...
The file cabinet stands. The drawer slides shut. The file cabinet. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes. Special whirling borscht. All items on the drawer slides shut smoothly. The already familiar cold touch of plastic welcomes you as you pick up the handset.
Let your muscle memory dial a random number.
Your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code for Revachol. 4952.
Wait, why is it not working?
And a moment of hesitation before entering the final numbers. 993.
One moment. Let us... There we go. There we are. Ka. Detective Pro is on the case.
Calling. Calling. Still calling.
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy. How may I help you?
The voice of a youngster on the other end sounds as enthusiastic as that of a man walking towards the gallows.
What is this place?
Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy.
Do you know me?
No.
I know, what is... I meant, what is this place to me?
Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. You rent videos here.
Why did I call you?
Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period?
My name is Harry Dubois. Do you have anything on my name?
Let me fire up the machine. Dubois. Dubois. Here we are. You haven't rented anything in 5 years, but you still have a copy of Blue Ocean Hell from November 46. Whoa, not a fun film, that one.
What kind of film is that?
It's not an easy watch. After the death of his daughter and subsequent divorce,
Oh.
Zemsk immigrant Egidius Wojcik tries to come to terms with the onset of dementia. No wonder no one's been missing it. Still, it would be great if you could return it to us. We're on the corner of Voyager and Maine.
On the corner of Voyager and Maine, a large neon sign hangs on the side of a building. Video Revachol, 24 hours. It's raining and there is almost no traffic on the street. A woman's footprints in the mud lead away from the front door.
Continue.
Tiny heels tiptoeing down the road. Beautiful steps, light-footed with a lifetime ahead of them. You look up and the air seems to grow darker. Suddenly you feel like you don't want to hear about video rentals anymore. You don't want to hear about any of it. It was all shit. It's over.
What was all shit? We're done.
This is the Night Watchman.
Eerie. There's this rather evil union leader called Everhard. And unfortunately, we have to help him. Or else we wouldn't be able to get our badge back, which we need in order to get something from someone else. One of the company people Her name is Joyce.
Looking for something, Aunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
I found this mug in the trash. Yours?
Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy go.
Is it yours?
Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine.
We're done for now. Let's see here. How do we get to... Oh, yes, we go around that side. Thankfully, time doesn't pass unless we interact with people here, so... we'll be doing some of that. I do... Hold on, let me see if I've exhausted.
Every snowflake is like a little gift. Oh, king. I think that's why people read them. To find... I don't know about that, but I imagine life is great when you're famous.
Famous people sound like a bunch of dorks.
Annette's expression remains ever so helpful, but she doesn't say anything.
I had
Okay.
nothing else to say.
It's the type, or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir.
What about a book where the man and lady business doesn't work out
I
at
haven't read
all?
many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum.
Yeah, I think she has one about an excruciatingly painful
I don't
breakup.
think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though.
No, think about it. One where they plunge into a torrid spiral of pain and recrimination. Only it's really long and drawn out.
You can take this. Blossom like a pain flower.
It drags on for years and years with no
The
resolution in
girl is
sight.
at a loss for words.
Each of you filling with resentment and bitterness for having ruined each other's
She
lives.
shifts and sways on her feet. Stop. There's no need for this. It's in your power to change the subject.
On second thought, this seems like an inappropriate topic to discuss with children. What about when everyone is poor?
That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life.
Sometimes you have to write about real life things.
Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end.
What about when both of the men are bad?
These are not very common. Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting.
What about a poor man getting a rich lady?
It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end.
That's enough romance for me. I had
Maybe
other
some
questions.
about other books.
Well, at least I gained a... Oh, who's this person here? Oh. Book says you must maintain, something. Hard body at the nearest gym. You see a sturdy woman humming to herself. She seems to be browsing books. A good one? Points to the book.
Yes? Hello?
She nods, her attention fully focused on reading. Who are you?
Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much.
What are you doing?
Looking for something to read.
Reverts her attention to a worn-out paperback. Good, nod.
It is.
I'm a
I know
policeman.
you are.
Do you need the help of a policeman?
What with?
She tries to focus
This
on the
citizen
bookstand.
thinks she can do without your assistance. Don't buy it. They all need help.
Watch her browse
Her
books.
hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work, smoking.
Maybe your husband is missing?
My husband? No, he's not.
So where could he
I
be?
don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friends? Working?
So what I'm hearing is you don't really know where your
Yes,
husband
but-
is.
I don't really need to know where my husband is. Not all the time.
Wouldn't you like to?
No.
I can totally help you find your missing husband.
Why are we still talking about this? I haven't lost...
She has, though. The husband is totally lost. You should tell her that it's okay.
It's okay.
What?
It's alright to not know where your husband is. Nothing
Who
shameful in
said
that.
anything about shame? Stop talking down to me. My husband is not missing.
But he is. You can feel it. Or maybe it's something else then.
Maybe your cockatoo is
I
missing?
don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here.
What do you mean I'm being a bit of a
Nothing.
cockatoo?
Go read up on them if you're so interested. There's a great book in the bookstore.
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain? Or your heraldic bird?
You're being sarcastic. Let's talk about
Please,
something else.
Let's do. No,
Are your children
absolutely
missing?
not.
Where
you
are
a
they?
policeman or a nanny?
Where are they?
They're not missing.
You know where they are. They're at home. Smoking. What if
Smoking.
something horrible has happened? What if they're dead? That's the bad vibe you got before.
They're at home, right? Smoking cigarettes.
What? That's just... My daughters are perfectly fine.
She's getting upset. Her voice has risen as she tries to convince herself that her daughters are safe.
They're almost grown up now anyway. They're past the age they need me protecting them from everything now.
I'm afraid the danger is now greater than ever. How old
My
are they?
youngest girl, Jolie, is just shy of 16. Jenny, she is turning 18 next month. But we shouldn't even be talking about them.
And can you
Why
describe
do
to
you
me
need
their
know
appearance?
this? Haven't I repeatedly told you that they're not missing?
Did someone say party? You could use a party. Hunt it down.
It's for the investigation. I'm trying to be professional.
There is no investigation here.
The
All
woman
right.
before you. Kingdom of Conscience. The Kingdom of Conscience will be exactly as it is now. Moralists don't really have beliefs. Sometimes they stumble on one, like on a child's toy left on the carpet. The toy must be put away immediately, and the child reprimanded. Centrism isn't change, not even incremental change. It is control over yourself and the world. Exercise it. Look up at the sky, at the dark shapes of the coalition airships hanging there. Ask yourself, is there something sinister in moralism? And then answer, no. God is in his heaven. Everything is normal on earth.
Fascinating. Let's explore this area and do a bit of running, shall we? He's right over here.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
How is you looking at the photo tied to lynching?
Better not tie the fourth day to the backstay on this.
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
What was the thing that I wanted to do with her, though? Ask around. Oh, I see. So I do need to talk to her. I just need my badge first. But thank you, Jen. I appreciate you coming by. I am a little bit tied up at the moment trying to solve this case. Although I guess you could say that's kind of the entirety of this. Before I continue, I would like Kitsuragi to be there when I confront the union members. But more importantly, I want to take another look.
The trash containers. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. There's nothing more than not much to see here anymore. Just you see milk and a box for the container sounds a muffled gong. Fairweather T500. Remember that weakness you were looking for in the ceramic armor? Like, maybe it can only stop small, fast projectiles, but a large, slow-moving pry bar would shatter it? Or, if I run an electrical current through it, maybe it will melt. Or, personal favorite, frequency something something radio weapon? None of that would work. You need to shoot the part of the enemy that doesn't have Fairweather T500 on it, because the armor itself is invulnerable. Good news is, so are the armor pieces on you.
I need to find other pieces of this armor. Fishing village down the coast. Not sure how to get there. What is this? There's a tree in the fountain. Oh. A sewer grate. Oh, we've never gone this way down. We haven't gone down this way yet. Let's do that first. What is this place? Military wear.
Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print.
Oh yeah?
The print depicts a muscled man striding toward you, a giant sword in each hand, encircled by burning embers. Behind him is a cluster of cabins engulfed in flames. Beneath him are the words, Hjelmdal burning.
What's the deal with this man on the shirt?
That's the man from Hjelmdal.
He's surprised at your non-recognition.
I'm guessing I'm supposed to know who this man from Hjelmdal is, but I've lost my memories recently and I need some help remembering basic facts from this reality. I said I lost my memory.
Oh, I see. That's tough, man. I feel the same way sometimes. The man from Hjelmdal is the hero of a series of popular books based on a fictional version of Kotla.
Oh.
He left his native village of Hjelmdal after his son was kidnapped, having many exciting adventures and killing many enemies with his swords. But he lost his family in the process. Tragic stuff, really.
How much are you selling this shirt for?
2 real.
Could you give it to me for free then?
Why?
I'm a broke cop without a cent to my name. I guess I can't think of a good reason.
You'll just have to buy it then. But it's not like it's expensive.
No, it isn't. You're right. Let go of the shirt.
What a shirt. All other shirts pale in comparison. A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps. The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently.
Is that a street light?
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order.
Where did you get this?
It was brought to me to be altered.
Oh.
The light's buzzing resembles the purring of a cat. It seems very much at home here.
How much for the streetlight?
700 real. A bargain, I dare say.
Oh,
A
that's too much.
bargain? No, it's not. He's trying to sweet talk you into buying trash.
Even taking the account of risk of obtaining light, it seems a bit
There's
steep.
also the matter of rewiring. But the most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms.
Welcome in,
All
Esper.
are stern and unyielding in their duty. Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back.
Pick up a truly cool figure in the box under the table.
Why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that say found.
What is this? Show it to the shopkeep.
Oh, that's the Headless Phone Rider.
Who?
The Headless Phone Rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a fawn tracksuit. As you see, he's missing his head. 50 cents. Bargain price. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it, or something. That part of the story has many interpretations.
Sure.
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it with you.
That was a very smooth salesman's grin that almost comes off as earnest. You should learn from him.
Win her back?
Yes. Buy something nice. A figurine.
Oh, thank you for the hydrate, Esper.
This sounds off. You shouldn't trust this guy. This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks.
Are these even soldiers?
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? Yes, they are soldiers, revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win.
It's meant to give hope. It's possible when it gets the course. Ask my friend guard whose bitch it made me. Oh no.
Maybe.
He seems to have his own take on the conflict played out in perpetuity by these toys. Might be interesting to find out what it is. Big men on big horses.
A classic set.
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps. That they do. The uniforms are precisely the same.
Which ones?
Hey. Psst. Psst. Hey, you.
Yes?
Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again.
How come there's word on the
You
street?
keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, empower all people who have more than 25 real in their pockets. Literally murder all human beings, regardless.
Oh, come on, it's not quite that bad.
That kind of stuff.
I haven't said anything like that.
Okay, not in so many words, but don't deny it. You're about to rip off that mask of social democracy and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global
Oh, wow.
communism that will devour and masticate mankind. Everyone can see that. So tell me, Do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it?
What is this communism even about?
Failure. It's about failure.
Failure?
Yes, abject failure. Total, irreversible defeat on all fronts. Absolutely vanquished, beaten, curb-stomped and pissed on. Until you came along. You will reverse the fortune of the workers of the world. You alone, against every living thing, against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class. Towering city blocks of bankmen who have the ears of prime ministers. Million-headed armies of nations and the love of your own mother. You against the atom, the charm and the spin, where the whole world failed. Matter failed to bend to human will. Human will failed to get out of bed and tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class.
That seems rather overblown.
You are the last communist.
Yes, Esper. I see that you got many ads. I've optimized it to give people ads for income, I suppose. But most of these, I try not to talk to people while the ads are going on. And then also I will be posting them onto YouTube later.
Now get to work, comrade.
Roll up your sleeves and start building communism. This is too tiring. I don't have it in me. I think last time I did speak out against it. I don't know.
Oh,
sure.
Yeah. Get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready.
You didn't say anything about the firing squads.
Too late to back out now.
Okay. I think in one of the previous runs I did start doing that. Oh wow, okay. Well, we don't have any slots to unlock at the moment. So that'll have to be done later.
The boom boxes on the shelf look well loved and well traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels.
Stand on the tips of your toes to see more.
One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved.
Oh, you just got out of the ads. Welcome back, Esper. As I said, I thought that the ads were gone because when the ads are playing, I get a notification about it, so I try not to say anything important while that's happening, but I suppose it didn't work this time.
This is you. Golden orange. A sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
Shopkeep, the Stereo 8 approved machine here.
It's a Harman Welshie W2. Made in Vespa. Designed in Seoul. Plays all reel-to-reel formats. 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real.
Are you sure this is all in working order?
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres, even though I don't really like music. If police work means playing tapes, sure, you can use it for that, or any other time you'd need to play a tape.
Let me see if I can get a...
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop.
The man at the counter turns to you slowly.
What can I do for you?
Yes.
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
It's shameful how insufficient the police presence is
I
in these
haven't
parts.
had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Honestly, I think some of your... Quite the collection indeed, yes. Oh, okay. Your one friend loves it. Well, I enjoy this game quite a bit. I've been posting the playthroughs onto YouTube. Alright, Esper, how should we start? So this is less of a game and more of an interactive narrative. You are in a dystopian, post-revolutionary world. I think it's France. For some reason, we keep coming back to revolution, and I'm not entirely sure why, because the other game we played, Aviary Tourney, also had that as the theme. But you are a police officer suffering from alcohol-induced amnesia. Basil is out for blood, I see. As usual. But yes, it's post-revolutionary era. In this timeline, the revolution has failed somewhat, and it had gone on for quite a long time. They were kind of butting heads. We weren't sure what the outcome was going to be, but external sources came in, like other people from other countries, I guess, came in and disrupted it and kind of took it over. And as a result, we kind of work for the law enforcement of the global, I guess, realm, and we are police officers for this region, which has fallen into disrepair. Guillotine.
It keeps me entertained.
The attention is drawn once more to the play of light and shadow on the walls behind you.
Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what?
Let's try.
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Parolidon. It's tough to come by on the street.
It's a little bit... I find parts of it are a little bit too abstract and nuanced, and it's very meandering. I do love the story, and I really enjoy the narration, but the isometric layout is a bit difficult to navigate sometimes. But it's very literary, if that makes sense.
A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Is it just me, or is it really warm in here?
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature.
There's a note of indignation in his voice. Interesting. Those triangle patches on his vest, you have a feeling they mean something, like they're similar to the halogen rectangle on your jacket.
Say, what's with the triangles on your vest?
I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade. You know, after the People's Pile disaster.
He coughs as if to mask his words.
Had to take Parolidon for radiation sickness. That's what you were hinting at just now, wasn't it?
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
Must have been tough, radioactive cleanup.
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened, and why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment, and early deaths. Cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best we could.
Can you use baby words, Esper? Please clarify what would you like me to explain in more simple terms? And whose fault is it that the generator failed?
No one's. Everyone's.
He sighs and shakes his
So
head.
much bitterness.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen?
Tell me more about this emergency relief brigade you were a part of.
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized, tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill.
On the patch, gamma radiation lines crossed with a red drop of blood.
You forgot. That's alright, Esper. Well, I'm glad that you're here, regardless of whether or not you can understand my words. Something about isometric. Yeah, it's this sort of top-down to the side perspective that you see here.
Tough son of a gun, this one. Respect.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud. Years getting sick.
He looks at the spiraling light and stops. The people's pile, what's that?
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you, too.
And how did you end up running a pawn shop?
The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack and all the assorted junk in it.
Of course, Esper. We don't shy away from political topics here. We don't shy away from mental health, from trauma dumping. Everything is welcome.
So I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forberg as I can. Still in the same city, but...
What do you mean? How is that political? Of course you can lurk, Esper. If you need to go, don't feel obligated to stay around. I appreciate your presence, but it's never mandatory. Thank you for telling me. Conclude.
I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
You might be able to aid my investigation. Esper, of course I would never stop you from going to sleep. It is my favorite thing for you to do, and if anything, you could do me a favor by sleeping quite a bit more. I heard about how little you've slept today, and I was deeply concerned. I do wish you sweet dreams, and I will come collect them later when you're done. Good night. I say to him, you might be able to aid my investigation.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have.
Do you know anything about the recent hanging?
I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business. Bad for everyone.
No one likes to see what you have to see every day. The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
By the way, do you happen to have any guns, like the ones carried by the officers of the Citizens Militia?
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
What? Sold?
Wait, I sold you my Oh no.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions.
Oh no.
The unhealthy kind.
Oh no.
He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you.
I feel like there's something you're not telling me.
You weren't quiet. Yourself officer.
And what was I like?
You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and that you can't trust yourself with it tonight.
Oh.
And that you need the money. When I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked on it. Then I agreed to take it.
You sucked on a gun? Good. Very normal.
How much did I sell the gun for?
15 real.
I'm sorry you had to see me in that state. We don't have to talk. No. Happens to the best of us, I guess.
It certainly does. Especially in Revachol.
Welcome in, Soup. How are you doing today? And it's good to see you. Was the buyer a policeman too? I'm currently trying to figure out. Okay, so in this game, I'm a police officer suffering from alcohol-induced amnesia. I'm trying to figure out and piece together what happened in the night before. And apparently I sold my gun in a fit of depression. Alcohol-induced sadness and depression. I'm trying to figure out where it is.
Although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her.
It's just past midnight for me here, and I'm happy to read you off to sleep. But, thank you so much for dropping by, and I hope that work was enjoyable, and if it was not, I hope it was tolerable.
Truth be told, she was terrifying.
You gotta help me find her, man.
I wish I could help with that, officer, but I don't know where she was from or where she was going.
Oh, Soup. I see. Your Twitter was destroyed. Well, you know, you're a pizza delivery driver. I'm sure you've had a lot of interesting stories.
He's trying to ingratiate himself with you by anticipating your questions. He knows he shouldn't have sold the gun.
Of course he shouldn't have. Also, Soup, if you ever are so inclined, I'm more than happy to add you on Discord. My Discord handle is the same as the handle here and the same as my Twitter. You discovered a hidden house. Please feel free to regale me with that story while I try to find out what this man has done with my gun. Any idea where I can find this buyer?
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it right now. You'll just have to hope Everard wasn't lying, and the Union can track her down in time.
Have people from FR Claire's Union come to track down the gun?
Shady-looking guys came in here yesterday, looking like they'd just taken off their Wild Pines overalls. They asked if I have a police
Oh, they did
weapon
come
to
asking
sell.
after it.
I told them I already sold it. They went their way. It was a trip, but you know, all sorts of people come here, of course.
There's something I'd like to sell.
Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
I have a fascinating photo of a corpse. Soup says, one of my deliveries was to a little house hidden in the woods. The GPS sent me to driveway, which was a 5-6 mile down a long dirt road, and I was like, is there a house in there somewhere? I saw nothing but trees for so long. Oh no. Especially around Halloween, I'm sure it was quite spooky. A fascinating photo of a corpse here.
Oh, no. I don't like those kinds of objects. No sale.
Do you know what the tattoos mean?
Photic paths, counter-radiance networks, anti-magnetism. It's darkness. That's all I know. Another time, perhaps.
I wanted to ask about missing gun again.
Sure thing. Sure, man. Hello, hello. Have you tried it before?
It's almost like he's worried for you.
I haven't.
If you say so. Here you go, man.
Yes, darling. That's the coalition government ordained Parolidon. Not so sure about this.
Wait, why wouldn't I be sure?
Because it's an anti-radiation drug, and you're a cop. Not a post-apocalyptic scavenger.
Actually, I changed my mind.
I respect your decision, officer.
I do want to see if I can...
The boomboxes wait on the shelves.
And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go.
I do have tapes I can listen to. I don't have any tapes with me currently.
All the old
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
It should play this tape, right?
Of course. It's in working order still, isn't it? Just pick...
Do I have a tape? Well, I certainly don't have a lot of money now. Soup says it's so interesting, like a massive chunk of forest in the middle of three new housing districts. This person owns a bunch of trees and he's not giving them up. Good for him. Soup says, our town is half rural. We got woods, we got fields, we got free-range cattle. Fascinating things. Oh, did not mean to come in here. I bought it, but I really need to make more money now. Tractor's
A
trying
couple
to...
of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way.
Why not?
You pull the lever all the way up until the metal... Nothing happens. Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind. The man watches you in silence, very slowly cutting off. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the waterlock to get across the canal. Some other way. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning?
I think that's tomorrow.
Officer.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them.
Yes, Basil is definitely a small town boy. Thank you for the request. I will reply to that after the stream.
His posture is relaxed. Despite his powerful build and a knife in his hand, this man resorts to physical intimidation only infrequently, if at all.
What are you doing here?
My friend Barry the Butcher is stuck on the other side of the waterlock. I'm keeping him company and eating his salami.
That's adorable.
From the corner of your eye, you see a man in a yellow shirt and grey overalls waving at you from across the canal. He seems disappointed about the wreckage on the waterlock and the salami.
I see.
Very good stuff. Anything I can do for you, officer?
Do you know what caused this
I wasn't
wreckage?
here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Revachol.
The words daredevil driver sound ominous to you.
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then.
What's with the lever that does nothing?
It's supposed to operate the waterlock, but as noted, it's all junk right now. Disabled because of the blockage.
Why is it disabled?
Safety measure. Turns out the panel needs a special key to be reactivated. Wouldn't want anyone moving the waterlock with debris still in the channel. It'll be restarted on Wednesday morning. You want to do the honors when the time comes?
Well, do I ever?
Great! Just drop in on Wednesday if you want to see the waterlock at work. They say the canal crew will be here at 7:15.
Gets a fresh slice
The
from his
coast
salami.
part of the map is inaccessible until the 3rd day.
Do you know what's further down the coast?
Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church.
Oh, I need to go there.
Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it.
He thinks for a moment.
Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins.
Can I have some of that salami?
Sure thing.
It is salty. It is savory. It is chewy. The hangover only makes the salami more tasty.
All right. Bye. That's unfortunate. Oh, it's here. Oh, and there's a man here too. I can't believe I've never gone down this way yet.
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Rummage through the box.
These are all boring. Boring third-rate ho-hum sunglasses made of cheap Syrahese plastic. The kind of plastic that melts in the sun.
Fascinating.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, superb material, very cool, UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing your dangerous police work.
Interesting. Try them on.
These are
all first-rate sunglasses.
abort. These are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit your face. You can feel them pinching your nose and chafing against your brow.
Damn, officer! You look like a mega secret spy. Very secret. They're practically made for you. I'll let you have them for 2 real and 50 cents.
They're perfect for concealing your bloodshot and baggy eyes.
Let's dig through the trash first. Oh, we have so much money we need to earn. Okay. Let's see here. We need things that improve our conceptualization.
The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime of...
No luck. All you find is this lime.
Oh! That visor is perfect for you, officer. It'll definitely keep the sun out of your eyes while you're shooting criminals. Bang, bang! And all for a mere 6 real.
I don't have enough money to buy either of those things.
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin. The name Sileng is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here.
What's so cool?
Everything's cool. The goods are cool, the customers are cool, the place is cool. And one more thing, officer.
From out on the bay, a cool wind gathers. It sweeps into the city, tugging at the textiles hanging around the stand. Some distance away, the sound of a tin can clattering across the street can be heard.
You're very cool. Bang, 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 bang!
Really think I'm cool?
Oh, yes! You got style. You got personal style. You know what you like.
He serves his consumer's kingdom with an air of
You
satisfaction.
like premium menswear. Look around and browse. Everything looks cool on a guy like you.
Don't be distracted by the flattery and funny man act. Questions.
What kind of stuff are you selling here?
Only the coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneakers, speakers, extremely comfy pants too. Try them on right here. No shame, only freedom.
No shame. Only freedom. Where do you get those comfy pants?
I'm an entrepreneur, officer. I've got sources, buyers, suppliers, distributors, manufacturers, wholesalers, all extremely cool and above board.
Is there a discount for cool officers like
No
me?
need for discounts at ceilings, officer. Everything's already on sale.
Do you have a permit?
Joke, officer. Here we don't have permits.
Of course.
Just economic freedom. Take a look around.
You glance around the decrepit buildings, the miserable weather, the sidewalks strewn with sunflower seeds and a dust-choked air.
Fascinating.
It's beautiful. Beautiful freedom. That's right. No permits, no bureaucracy. That's why this city and its law officials are so cool.
Okay. What if my freedom manifests in shame?
Anything for you.
The food packages you're selling have humanitarian aid written on them. How come?
You mean these delicious pre-packaged shelf-stable meal kits? Really easy to cook? No hassle? Really
I
cheap
think
too?
one says not for
Awesome,
resale
try
on the
them out.
packaging. Don't play games with me, Hawker. What's going on?
No problem here, officer. I get all this from one of my suppliers. An extremely reputable guy.
And who is your supplier exactly?
Oh, he's a good guy. I think you'd get along. I'll let you know the next time he's around.
Where are you from, Selig?
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All Revachol.
But you're not a local, are you?
Very sharp, officer. I'm Serais, from the Sigai province of the Serais Empire. The apricot suzerainty, you know?
Why is it called that? Lots of apricots there.
Yes, apricots come from Sigai. My grandma used to grow them. But Sigai is a shithole. That's why I came to Revachol. Speaking of, why not support an independent local entrepreneur? I send half my profits back to my grandma in Seaguy.
Well, if it's for his grandma, you should buy a lot of things.
Humanitarian aid maker.
No need to dress this one up. Just tell him what you want.
I want your money now.
Oh, okay. But why, officer?
I don't know, it was the only thing I could come up with in my head to ask you. I need to get money somehow.
Ah, yes. Money is very important.
The street vendor nods dead serious.
You see, I'm an honest entrepreneur. I can't help you if you don't give me a good reason as to why I should.
Well, we're not going to extort him. Let's see what's
You
here.
see two lowly, defeated speakers, thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like conquerors surveying the land.
I can see you've a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by the indomitable Faun Ultras atop them. A small heat emboss on the veneer reads, "Solidarity aid from the People's Republic of Samara." The speakers themselves don't seem to display any magical qualities.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers.
What about the speakers,
sneakers are
though?
the stars here.
Poor little speakers, pat them.
No, don't pity them, officer. These are old Samaran garbage. Don't even look at them. Check out these super cool, fun ultras instead.
Can't I buy the sad conquered Sumerian speakers?
No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist junk.
That's why I want them. I think I might want lo-fi socialist junk myself.
No, officer. You're a high-class policeman who accepts nothing less than the best.
I want the speakers.
If you want them. But see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If, on the other hand, you...
Oh my god.
Faun Ultra.
Those sneakers, mister.
Only? That's
Only.
Madness.
Oh, that's the worst. What
There are
about
clothes
here?
inside.
Don't be shy.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends. The box smells like cat piss or like an old
Awful.
person with
Economical, but also trendy. Look first-hand. Buy second-hand. Keep the economy moving.
no good. All you can come up with are some treated wool pants. You can tell they're too tight around your thighs and too loose around the waist.
No luck? Why not take another look, officer? Keep supporting the economy.
Well, this was basically not very useful. Is there anyone here to speak to? Oh, there's a whole thing here. Yes? Yeah, I can go over here and talk to him.
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and there is a warm smile on her face. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes, and food money. Maybe she's your...
Grandma?
Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is grey like lead. No, this one is a monster in disguise.
Oh?
No
I'd like to ask a
response
question.
wherever this woman is.
Where am I? Who are you?
Ah. Like a magician recalling a subject from hypnosis, you jolted her back to reality.
The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the weary aspect of a cornered beast.
I was actually hoping you could tell me that.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s.
Where else would you be then? When else would you be then?
Back in Methka, during the time of the revolution. The side walls and cafes are filled with the young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buenguerro. Until you came along, that is.
Who is Gabriel Benacaro?
This
Thank you for
is
the
Gabriel
hydrate.
Buenguerro.
He shows you the photograph in the lavish amber frame.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and his jaw the most perfectly chiseled thing you've ever seen. This man's got a hold over her. Even 50 years later, you can feel it.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen. And schoolboys used to memorize all of his lines.
Sorry to interrupt your dreaming, ma'am.
I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, and the man behind the black sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters tall. Everything was golden. While you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution. In Methk, it was a golden age. Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
What are you hauling?
Diamonds. Of
Diamonds.
course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was?
But what are you really hauling? Yes, Soup, it is quite a neat game. It's beautiful.
Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine.
So you don't know what you're hauling in the lorry?
I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago.
She says that as if something narcotic is the real reason.
You get high driving a lorry.
Oh, it's so much more than a high where I go, Harife. It's low. I go to the bottom.
Yeah, it's definitely some kick. Some terrible kick.
Then
What if it's contraband?
Loman? What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Beam? What do you mean?
You're in a dream, inactive, turned off.
Yes? What about it?
You should drive a lorry if you get like that. The roads you drive are unusual, aren't they?
Some of them. Some of them are like home to me now. Lomonosov's land.
A terrible cold comes over her.
The Transcatlia Magistral. You for 1A. Adestradas do Mirador. All the good ones. The deep trenches. Where the bluebirds fly.
I'm something of an expert blacking out. You should take better care of yourself.
You're right, Loman. I'm the one who should take my health more seriously.
A correct appraisal. You're quite shabby.
Is that all you woke me up to say?
I think I know what's going on with you.
And what is that?
You're a pail driver. You transport goods to the pail.
Oh meu Deus. The Loman solved the case. And here I was, thinking you were an idiot.
Republica. A filterless cigarette from Misk.
I blacked out after a night of heavy drinking and lost all memory of the world.
Like Gabriel Buenguerro in Pergunte a Poeira. You're the opposite of me, then. I remember everything. Even things I never knew.
Things you never knew.
The smell of liquor on Gabriel's lips after the shoot. The look on her face, like an orgasm. The wound in her chest. My hand in my father's hand. Except I never had a father. And I never shot her innocent Dolores Day.
Over radiation.
Heroic doses, her thought insertion, dithering. The Grad Catala Magistral. It's more than dangerous. It's sad. But at first I had to make a living. Now, when you've seen it all go away like that, rolling off like the sea, and then come back to this.
Your gestures to the square, the broken horse monument, the clanging of machines in the distance.
What are we doing here? For thousands of years, Gabriel. It doesn't have to be like this. We can just give up. We can just become a vapor.
What does it look like, the pail?
Like looking into the ocean at night. In the dark.
Oh yes, so we also found out one other thing about this world. And it's that there is this thing called the Pale. It's nothingness, and it's slowly eating the world. And you have to travel through it to get to other places in the world. And she's someone that goes through the Pale.
You cannot see it, but you know it's there. And it's big, bigger than anything. Bigger than all the other things combined.
What does it feel like?
Nothing. Until it starts. When you are deep enough. Then, for me, it's like autumn. Dark, grey, and orange. The orange of street lights and the color of streets and electric light. It smells like autumn too. It smells terrible.
Nostalgia. Cooped up in the cabin, shaking. Terrible nostalgia.
In
How
the
do you
belly
pass
of
through
an
it?
airship, behind the stair windows. So you don't look straight into it. It's not advised to look into it.
So not on this lorry then.
No, the same one, a roller. They all are nowadays. Special wheels for connecting to the floor of the hold.
What last thing? You said you could just become vapor.
Yes.
I would rather have what I have than what you have.
They say there is a point. One that I have not crossed. In the Pale, super deep. If you stray too far, of course, on the U41A, or in Lomonosov's land, where every step you take is one step further from home, no matter the direction. It's a point you cannot come back from.
I see.
Your mind becomes so radiant with the past, there is a flip. Instead of writing, it erases memory, nearing some kind of indescribable finale. Maybe you've been down the motorway south?
The motorway south?
It's a story as lone horsemen tell. Lone horsemen, Sheriff, not Pale drivers. Way beyond the established Pale that's lit by radio frequencies, where it goes silent and dark, and the process begins. Erasure, kilometer by kilometer, in any direction. The motorway south is a road you cannot come back from.
And what is at the end of the motorway south?
No one knows what's at the end. I've only glimpsed the beginning. I've only felt it in the distance, when I was a child. A child growing on the leg.
Ma'am?
Josiane.
There is nothing more to do now. She is receding in the clutches of some indescribable scattered emotion. The child descend.
Okay, fascinating. I'm guessing some more bottles here. Oh, a shirt. What is this?
An old monument stands in a silver plaque, not a good track record of mental health in that family. As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chest piece.
What indentations?
Something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted the cuirass. Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting. Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Philip was known for his profligacy.
In what way?
Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy during the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola.
How did he manage to blow through the entire national treasury? Of course that's what starts the revolution.
Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices. He called it the Sol Aurum. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a bed, like a normal person.
The man certainly knew how to live.
A deplorable farce. No wonder everything went to shit.
But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction.
The what now?
You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. he was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy.
Of course.
Not just any nose candy, though. We're talking Royal Philippian Blow, allegedly twice as potent as the stuff you find nowadays, and purple. Philippian cocaine was purple.
This is a lot to process.
His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms.
Where is he buried now? Oh.
That's what the revolution cocaine. Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum. A group of marble pleurons still surround the king's vandalized tomb. A deathly cold wind sweeps up candy wrappers and old newspapers.
What happened to the statue?
The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn-of-the-century revolution, when Martinez was leveled.
And who restored the monument?
Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest
Of course they
part of
did.
the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit.
That's such a bad idea.
People in Martinez tend to agree, as do many prominent art critics. Philip III, the Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death.
And who is this person here? I can't believe we missed this entire section.
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler.
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
Keep listening.
From another planet. Hey there.
What's going on here?
The jam, my man.
The air from the east is thick with the smell of crude oils, heavy metals and other byproducts of the modern era. You can almost taste it.
What's the jam?
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days.
So how long you been here?
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout.
Extravagantly phrased, but I can roll with it.
Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
Behind the laugh, however, a touch of sorrow.
So tell me, what do you need?
Tell me more about this strike.
It's like whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in or out.
What's the union demanding?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town too. Like a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up. Precise demands and so on.
What do you think the company wants? We should have talked to him much earlier.
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching. Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do. Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. thinking, reflecting, observing.
He glances down the road towards the horizon, a glint of something
What's
in his
better
eyes.
than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient, the better. When one's ended, you can get onto the next one.
Here to share your spare some change.
The bosses, man.
Makes sense for okay. I don't know who these bosses think they are, but this sounds like a good arrangement
Yeah,
for
it
them.
sure ain't good for me. Or you. I'd spare a coin or two for a city cop down in his luck. If I had saved 4 myself.
What are you hauling?
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal
What?
Time to arrest him.
Okay, what are you actually
Can't
hauling?
even get a few jokes past you, my man. I've got another haul of found cargo. They usually get shipped to Grad in the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Ilmaran market lately.
So nothing illegal then.
Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
What's that machine? Is that your machine behind you?
Beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery?
Interested in...
Neat.
There it is again. A little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he's spent too long in this lorry.
We're pals and all?
There's no did the man taps his fingers rhythmically against
What do you
his
see in his eyes?
In his eyes, an unfamiliar longing. Flecks of brown and gold.
Familiar how?
It's hard to say. His gaze wanders southwest, down the street that goes beyond the horizon. The road continues for miles, flowing together with other roads, turning into causeways or bridges, ending suddenly in dead ends, or ramping up or down highways. It forms a crisscross pattern across the land.
Where does it lead?
Above the Jamrock Quarter, in the form of a raised motorway, and then the never-ending sprawl of Forburg, high above buildings, new and old, the air filled with the rumble of motor engines. To the old south, to the farthest outskirts of Revachol, through the checkered fields of farmland, upstream to the river Esperance, past Montmartin. The border
What's beyond
approaches.
the border?
You cannot see. It's out of the city. Up ahead, the mist blocks all sight. A gale blows across your cheeks. It is cold. Before you stands a tall lorry driver with sad eyes.
And what's in the southwest?
Excuse me?
We're just from the Reverie. Hell, I've got longing. I've felt something similar since I woke up.
Man, I don't know what to say. Not much anyone can do. There's no helping in absence, you know. I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, second kid on the way. Waiting all the way in Diora. Diora of the Seven Seas. It's on the other end of Le Caillou, pretty much. On another island called Laurentide, off mainland. We've got a little place there. Can almost hear my kid laugh when it snows.
What's it like to miss someone?
What's it like? Good. And bad. An ache that brings you joy. I think of them a lot. I dream up these silly scenarios in great detail of living with them. It comforts me. What about you, cop man? You missing someone?
Is that what it is? This feeling? No, it's scarier than that. You're pursued by a hunter, smelling of apricots and sorrow, and the past.
I miss someone, but I don't know who it is.
I feel for you, my friend. It's bad enough to know who you miss. Missing like that doesn't feel like it has much of an upside. But, thanks for this. It's nice to talk to someone, and I know it wasn't easy to ask. I hope you find your way through your own troubles. Don't be a stranger.
Definitely getting some of that side quest in. Hold on, I'm going to save Scum here for a bit. I want to see what happens if I talk to them without Kim. I was curious about this, but we're probably not going to save here. All right, doing a little bit of curiosity digging, safe scumming, some people call it. But anyways, thank you for sticking it with me to the end, and thank you for watching to the end of the video if you did watch it. We will be back next week, I think, and then hopefully at some point we'll conclude in October, and it will be time for some scary games. But until then, have sweet dreams for me. Good night.